Hi, welcome to another Quick Tip Thursday, and today we are here to talk about notes in the color page in Davinci Resolve. So when I start editing in Davinci Resolve, I found two tabs in Davinci Resolve that were a little bit scary for me, a little bit intimidating. First one was the color page, and the second one was the fusion page. Then I started thinking, no, I need to understand how the color page works because the color page is much more important than the fusion. So I forgot in the beginning the fusion page. I didn't touch the fusion page and I start learning about the color page. And the main reason why I'm here, I will try to pass to you all that information. So let's jump in the computer and let me try to explain you what is a node, how nodes work, all about that. So let's go. So here in the computer we have already the Davinci open with in the edit page with the clip in the timeline, my famous bride. So let's go to the color page. This is what you see when you start the color page. So here is the nodes here are the nodes that we are gonna talk about. They are in here. You can increase it. You can also resize with the Alt or Option and your scroll wheel in the mouse. So you can, this is the biggest possible and this is the small. So let's give it a little bit of size. So this is a node, and in here you can see that you have green dot in here, green circle in here, and a green circle in here. So this is the input. So this is the file, the clip as it comes from when you import it. So this is the clip with no changes, and this is the output. It's the final result that you want to see in the edit page. So this in here, and this is a node. And for me, a node is the graphical representation of any correction that you do to a clip. You can add multiple corrections to a clip, and those corrections are saved in that node. So the node grabs all the information of any change or any correction that you do in a specific node. Okay, so this is the node, and in the node you can see that you have two inputs. So this side is the input, and with these arrows, with this triangle like arrows, and here in the square are the outputs. So the green represents the clip. The colors, the RGB information from your clip is passed through the greens. So this is the RGB, the color, the clip input, and this will be the output. The blue is the alpha channel. So it's another thing that we'll talk about in a later video, but this is the alpha, the information about the alpha channel that will pass or not between nodes, sorry. So you have this, you can enable or disable the node by pressing in here in the number. So this is disable and enable. If you do some changes, for example, let's do some changes to this node, to our image. So let's decrease the brightness. Let's give it a little bit more contrast and a little bit more saturation. So now you will see this is with the node enable, and if I press it here is with the node disable. So disables all the changes that we made. And we also can add a name to the node. We'll click in the right mouse button and node label, and for example let's call this primaries, and we have the name in here. We can add more nodes to our node tree, and we have several different types of nodes. I don't think I see a lot of people saying that are different kinds of nodes, but for me there are different types of connections between nodes, because the nodes are always the same, so that square, it's always the same. The connections between them, it's different. So if it's a serial node, this is the case we are seeing now. As you can see, it's connected in series, so it's from one node to the other, or in this case from the input to the node to the output, so it's a series. And we also have a parallel node that is connected in parallel. It's called parallel mixer node, and a layer mixer node that it's something like layers in Photoshop, one in the top of the other, but it's here it's a little bit different. And we also have a splitter jointer node, and we also add outside node, it's another one, and a shared node. So these are the different types of nodes. But today we are going only to talk about the serial node. In the other videos I will talk about the other types of nodes, okay? So let's go again to the computer. As I said, this is a node. Let's add a serial node. To add a serial node, you have multiple ways. One of them is clicking in right mouse button, and you can go here to add node, and you have add serial. But you have two options for serial. This one is for adding after the node that is selected, and this one is for adding before. So you can add it after, or you can add it before in here. So as you can see, this node doesn't have any changes. You can see every value is the same, and here we have the corrections, and here we don't have anything. So let's delete this one. So this one is the one that we made some changes, and now this one we can do other changes. The image will come from here, goes to here, receives the changes, and will pass it to this one that is in series between this point and this point. So it's in series, that's why it's called serial node. And this node will receive the information from this one. So we are editing in this, we are making change and receiving all the changes from the node before. So imagine that you have a glass of water with clear water in the input, and in this node we added a drop of red ink. We mix it, and now in the first node, this is in the, we add a red water, and we'll pass it to the second node, and in the second node we'll add, for example, a drop of yellow and mix it, and yellow and red combined will give you orange. So I don't know if you get the idea. So all the information that comes from the previous node will pass to that node, and the change that we do in this node will pass to the other. Okay, so if I give a little bit of red in this node, so you can see that is adding some red in here to this node. Now we'll come to this one, and if we add that yellow, as you can see, you have the orange. If I disable this node, you only have the yellow that we add to that. Okay, so let's, another thing, if you want to reset what you've done, is here, reset node grade, and come here, and in this case I want to reset it here. If you want to reset anything that you've done here, you will press this, or in here we'll reset everything that you've done in here. So in this case, let's do something different. As you can see here, we have this kind of blue. Let's remove it. For example, we'll come here to the HSL, here to the curves, hue versus saturation. You can see this spike in here probably is this blue, because it's the only part that you see in blue. So we'll come here and add this in here. I would like do this, and let's add a point in here, and let's pull this down. As you can see, we removed this blue that we have in here. It's gone. So let's rename this to HSSL curves, and imagine that you want to add another node. Let's add another node. Another way to add the node is come here to the color and nodes and add serial node, or if you can see in here, Alt or Option for Mac users S. So you can do that, or you can do Alt S, and it's there. So this will receive all the changes that were made in the previous two nodes and come in here. And for example, let's change the color temperature a little bit. Let's give it a little bit more warm, and let's node label and white balance or white balance. So as you can see, all the changes are stacking from this one to this one to this one, and they are all in serial with between the input and the output. So there you have it. I hope this information was helpful, and I hope you learned something with this explanation. That's how I see this working, and I hope you did like it. So if you like it, please hit that like button, that helps a lot. Subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and hit that notification bell to be notified next time I will launch a video. Until there, bye.